I'm a big boxing fan. Was a Mike Tyson guy growing up. Loved Tommy Morrison. Too bad what happened to him. Roy Jones Jr. was my guy, light heavyweight champ, with the fastest hands ever. I wasted way too much money buying Mayweather pay-per-views, though. I love the trash talk. That's what got all the drama going.
I want all of America, I want the whole world to see me destroy this man after 2 short rounds. Because after this fight, he's going to have to donate what's going to be left of his body to science, but there won't be much. That I can guarantee.
Boxing and politics is a lot alike. They're jabs, where one guy's kind of feeling the other one out. Sometimes you see guys come back off the mat and win. Sometimes they're talking trash in the ring. And in the first round of the 2024 Republican primary, we saw Trump test DeSantis' defense. Jab here, jab there, see what gets through, get his distance down. And now we're in round 2, and DeSantis is starting to let his hands go a little. Watch.
Which is your favorite nickname that Trump's given you so far? Is it Ron DeSanctimonious or Meatball Ron?
Well, I can't.
I think even he went off Meatball Ron.
I can't. I don't know how to spell DeSanctimonious. I don't really know what it means, but I kind of like it's long. It's got a lot of vowels. I mean, so we'd go with that. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I mean, just as long as you also call me a winner. That
sounds like a line that DeSantis has been working on. Good line. Good line. DeSantis, for the most part, has been quiet. He's been dancing around the ring, doing his thing. But DeSantis has found something that he thinks he can use. It's the term winner. Trump's whole career has been about winning. Trump puts winning above everything. Winning is the Trump brand. Now DeSantis is saying, you lost. It's my brand now.
You think you could beat Biden?
I think so.
So you're running then?
No, I didn't say that. I just said I think I could. I mean, I think that's. I mean, if you look at Florida,
who would be harder to beat, Biden or Donald Trump?
I don't know.
Ron's definitely running, and these guys are on a collision course. And Piers Morgan has a little Don King in him because he teed up DeSantis heavily.
People have been quite kind of scathing. They've said you're house-trained Donald, your Diet Coke to his full Coke, right? You've heard all this stuff. What are the differences between you?
Well, I mean, I think there's a few things. I mean, obviously, the approach to COVID was different. I mean, I would have fired somebody like Fauci. I think that he got way too big for his britches, and I think he did a lot of damage.
Fauci's going to be a big issue in the Republican primary, and DeSantis is trying to get to the right of Trump on COVID. Trump's going to have to defend the Fauci situation, the initial 15 days to slow the spread. And remember, the vaccines ended up being controversial. Now, we checked, and to fire someone like Fauci, a civil servant, is not like firing your defense secretary. You can do that in a meeting. You have to build a case, a whole process that would have taken months. Not saying Trump shouldn't have fired Fauci. I'm just telling you the facts. Now, Trump just came out with an answer on the COVID issue, releasing a statement, in part reading this. Ron DeSanctimonious is finally admitting he's in the race by beginning to fight back. Now that his polls have crashed and he has no other choice, Florida has been successful for many years, long before I put Ron there. It's amazing what ocean and sunshine will do. Surprise, Ron was a big lockdown governor on the China virus, sealing all beaches and everything else for an extended period of time. Florida was the 3rd worst in the nation for COVID-19 deaths. Other governors did much better than Ron because I allowed them this freedom and never closed their states. So those two are going to be duking it out over COVID policy for a while. But DeSantis didn't stop there. He hammered the theme, I'm no drama Ron.
I also think just in terms of my approach to leadership, I get personnel in the government who have the agenda of the people and share our agenda. If you bring your own agenda in, you're gone. We're just not going to have that. So the way we run the government, I think, is no daily drama, focus on the big picture, and put points on the board. And I think that that's something that's very important.
Some Republican voters got tired of the Trump show. There was personnel drama in the Trump administration for a lot of reasons. And DeSantis is betting on Trump fatigue with those people. You never know how that's going to shake out because Americans love drama. It just becomes a problem when it gets in the way of governing. Trump has to promise that he'll staff the White House better next time. DeSantis is going to capitalize on the competence factor. Who's a better boss? Ron's going to say, I know who to hire, I know who to fire, I build a better team. Again, that goes directly at Trump's brand, the businessman. But these aren't really big policy squabbles. This is all about tone and management, right? So these two pretty much agree on most policies, which is why this is getting personal so fast. These guys will get their most traction with policy fights. Maybe more boring, but more important. Let's take a look at the polls. Trump's been really climbing in the polls lately. This Monmouth poll from this week shows Trump up 41-27 on DeSantis. Now, same poll pretty much flipped just from 3 months back. Trump was at 26 and Ron was at 40. That's a big reversal. Now, another poll this week shows Trump's up 54-26, doubling DeSantis' support. So momentum's on Trump's side right now, but it's early. A lot of Republicans are rallying to the flag as the Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg looks to indict the former president. This is bigger than politics. Republicans know this isn't just an attack on Trump. This is an attack on all of us. And DeSantis is in a kind of a tight spot here.
You also repeated twice you didn't have any knowledge of hush money being paid to porn stars. Was I right to feel that there was a slightly censorious tone to that kind of thing is just not anything you would ever get involved with?
Well, I think there's a lot of speculation about what the underlying conduct is. That is purported to be it. And, the reality is that's just outside my wheelhouse. I mean, that's just not something that I can speak to.
DeSantis is making a calculation. He knows big donors are going to get skittish about backing a guy who's been booked and fingerprinted. And corporate America won't like to associate with a guy facing prison time. So DeSantis doesn't want to associate himself with any of that and is waiting for it to play out to his benefit. Now, the risk is this. Trump's going to paint you as a donor puppet.
Let me talk quiet.
How tough
a lot
is
of
it?
times, that's all of his donors and special interests out there. So that's what it is. That's what. And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets? Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money.
DeSantis' lane is different than Jeb Bush's lane, though. He has a wider lane. And he's younger than Trump and has a big career ahead of him, but he has to be careful here. And remember, Trump's a billionaire and he's got tons of earned media attention that can harvest a lot of money. So DeSantis doesn't have that kind of money and can't get the same amount of attention. Negative attention, positive attention. Trump gets a lot of attention. But he'll be able to raise a lot of money from big donors, maybe even more from corporate America. But DeSantis isn't some shill for corporate interests either. You see what he's done with Disney. So this is going to be a competitive primary. Trump's still the big dog, and the first debate will tell us a lot if DeSantis has enough punching power to take the throne.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.